I have a case that I got to go to court in on the 12th. So what it is that the police came to my house with a arrest warrant for my son, and I got into it with the cops because I questioned their being there without a search warrant, and now I got to face the music. And when I try to invoke being a man in court, the judge just shut me down, and he ordered me to shut up. So what can I do?
Yeah, because like I said, it wasn't your court, it was their court. The man doesn't exist in their court. You got to evoke your own court.
Well, you know what it was?
Dude, did you put anything in writing?
Yeah. I put on notice, gave the date. I said to the court, I said, I, a man, I do no wrong. I require you to preserve my rights. And I said, you, Black Robe, are a man. Then I said, who here says I do wrong? And they just read it into the record, and then it was done. They didn't say anything else. That was it. And
then what happened?
Well, okay, then actually originally I stood up, and I said, I called to order my court. And that's when he said, shut up, you can't talk. You know, your lawyer talks for you. And I have a public defender. Then he says, then that's when I try to read into the record what I just said to you with the notice. And then I gave the notice to the bailiff, and he gave it to the...
I thought you said they read it in.
Actually, my lawyer actually read it in because he made me shut up, and my lawyer...
I'm saying, did the judge read it in? I thought you said the judge or the court clerk read it in.
No, actually, this is what happened. I tried to, and they told me to shut up. Okay, then
who read it in? But I thought you said somebody read it in.
Yeah, the lawyer. On the second appearance, the lawyer said, "You want me to read this, man?" I go, "Yeah, read it in for me." Because the judge forbade me to talk. So then he read it in the record, and it's in the record now.
Okay.
So what's
it's still not in the record because it didn't come from a man.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so then should I just go ahead and keep on talking and don't let him shut me up?
No, what you should have done, dude, is you should have had your own case before the court. Who's bringing you into the court, dude?
You know, the public defender, the prosecutor, the people?
No. Joe, Bob, Susie?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it was two detectives.
Okay,
Evan,
two Joes. Okay, so it's Stephen, Larry.
Yeah, Evans and Brennan. Oh, yeah, Evans and Brennan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was no detectives. It was Stephen Larry that trespassed. And you had a claim against them for the trespass.
Okay, so then I'll file a claim against them.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea. If they were making a complaint against what you did, you should have made a claim against what they were doing.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, that way there's a basketball team on one side of the court and there's a basketball team on the other side of the court.
Okay, good. So then I'll file the claim because I got to go to court.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to explain the trespass. Yeah, like I said, I got 0% power on my phone, and that's why I'm throwing as fast as I can because it's going to die.
Thank you very much.
All right, then.
Thank you, brother. I love you. Bye.
Gus, you got number 2 ready.
Yeah, my question is I actually have a claim in the Supreme Court in New York City, and I answered a motion to dismiss last Thursday, and they pushed me over to the matrimonial side where I was never married. And this is actually, my child is involved. I haven't seen my child in 17 months. And my problem is, my issue is, or my lack of understanding is basically, how is it that I got pushed into the matrimonial side, and how can I get out of that and back into the common law?
Yeah, Carl fell off, Gus.
You said you put a claim into the Supreme Court of New York City. Is that the county Supreme Court or is that the state Supreme Court?
It's county.
Okay. So
no, it's state. It's state. It's state Supreme Court. It's the Supreme Court of New York City. Of New York. No, so it's state.
I don't know what the different counties are. I know there's a Chenango County, and Chenango County has a Supreme Court.
No, the county is New York City, so that would be the county. It's New York City in New York City, so the Supreme Court is New York City.
All right, so it's a county Supreme Court, and you put a claim in there regarding a divorce case. Tell me.
No. The claim was 4 words: return of property and damages. I was never married. I'm not getting a divorce. I have a child who's going to be 3. Who's going to be 3 in May. I was in the family court system. In the family court system, I didn't get to see my child for 7 months. Finally, I became aware of Karl, and I started doing research on common law, and I ended up putting in my own claim in a superior court. I didn't go to the federal court because I'm new to this, and I wanted just to make sure if I was in error or I failed, that I had a safety net and higher up. So that's why I decided to go into the Supreme Court.
Okay.
In the Supreme Court, the wrongdoer,
Hold
the
on,
other side.
hold on. Before you keep going, all right? Was there an existing case before you filed yours?
Yes, there was an existing case in family court.
And how long was that going on for?
That started September 24th of 13, and I filed the Supreme Court September 13th of 14.
So you filed a 4-word claim this past September?
Correct.
And did you, you said it was just 4 words, and I didn't hear anybody listed as your claim sounds very shallow, meaning that nobody has any idea who the other party is. You know, did you fill out like a cover sheet?
Well, the wrongdoer is the mother, and it specifies just her. I didn't put anyone else. So it was basically like a counterclaim, just in a superior court.
Let's say the mother's name was Susie. Tell me what your claim would say if her name was Susie.
The claim that I filed just said return of property and damages, and then they filed.
Hold on, who's the claim being made against?
The mother. I'm the prosecutor, and I put the claim in against the mother, the wrongdoer, Susie.
Okay, but who knows this? When you filed your claim, you didn't have a cover sheet? You've got nothing that says who the other party is?
No, I didn't add a cover sheet to that, no.
So how did you have her served with any paperwork?
I did. This is what I did. I went down to the courthouse. I filed the claim. I filed all the packet, the template that they gave me. I filed that out, and they gave me an index number. Once they gave me the index number, I had her served. Once I had her served, I waited for response. I got a response, which was the motion to dismiss from the other side. I answered the court date for argument, for verbal argument. I went there twice where they reneged and failed to show up. And then Thursday, this past Thursday, which was verbal argument on the motion to dismiss. When I went in there, I stated that I am in proper persona. I'm head of the state. That I'm just acting as a man.
Where'd you get all this proprietor persona stuff? You didn't get that from Karl?
Just reading. It's so overwhelming. I'm so new to this, and it's so overwhelming. And just me reading Magna Carta, just me reading Levy, just me reading all these different types of laws, and just trying to get some type of grip on it, and then having it to where I'm just a man, and it's just very confusing.
Here's the problem that you're going to have, right? There's Bob's guide to a successful divorce. There's Gus's guide to a successful divorce. There's Frank's guide. There's Susie's guide. You got to pick one and stick to it. You can't blend them all together because you're going to have a train wreck.
But I was never married. I was never married, so there's not that contract of marriage.
It's not about the contract. It's about your understanding of the principles of law and the disaster that you're in and that you're trying to get out of, that you're trying to spread out so you can see it clearly before you and address the issues that need to be addressed. And you can't do that by reading the Magna Carta and then going and listening to Karl, then reading Bill Thornton's website. You got to just stay focused in one spot. There might be more than one way.
The biggest thing that you got to understand is the wisest men I ever met in my life were illiterate. The smartest woman I ever met in my life, she was illiterate. The woman I had, the first wife, she was an Indian. She was illiterate. She couldn't read or write English, and I taught her how to read like comic strips. Started out with Snoopy, Peanuts, and worked her way up to Calvin Hobbes. My dad couldn't read or write. The man who lived next door to us, 2 houses down, he worked in the sand pit most of his life, and he was, when I knew him, he was deaf. And these were probably the most wisest people I ever met because they were never impacted or influenced by a book. They were never impacted or influenced by somebody else's thoughts or somebody's beliefs or ideas. They gathered what they witnessed throughout their life, and they put it together. And they were incredibly wise. They knew how to figure things out without having to read a book. So it came from their heart. You're trying to make it go through your mind instead of just letting it go through your heart. And, you're not living your life. You're like vicariously going through somebody else's life, trying to make it your life. Magna Carta, I wasn't there. There's 7 different versions of the Magna Carta. And I think the last one was in 2093. I think that was the last version of it that Bill Thornton talks about, or Caution Motto. He talks about that, the final one. But what I'm trying to say is, you're trying to live through somebody else's beliefs. What do you believe? Do you believe what she's doing is right? Do you believe what they're doing is wrong? Yes or no? And then you have to, that's litigating. That's how you perform in the court, because the judge could see, is that you who we're talking to? Are we talking to you? Are we talking to Magna Carta? Are we talking to Karl Lentz? Are we talking to Jesus? No, we're talking to you. He wants to see it. He wants to see if you believe what you believe. And it doesn't matter if you've seen space aliens. The judge is going to award it to you because he really truly feels that you believe what you say is true. That's why they, like I said, a good judge will any kind of put on performance. It could be for a live audience. It could be for hundreds of people or one man. How convincing are you that it's really true, that you believe you've done no wrong, and you believe you've been done wrong, and you believe you do compensation? And the book has nothing to do with anything. And you're just gonna really mess up your life trying to find the answer in the book. And like I said, I don't know if Gus saw them. Gus, did you see all the books I had under the house or no?
No, I never went down there to look.
Yeah. So like I said, I had 9 feet of books. I stacked them up one time just end on end, and all those damn books I read, the answer was never in the book. And I got them all stacked up in boxes, and I don't want to burn them, but I don't need them. I could use them paperweights or something. I don't know, because I'm telling you, everything I was looking for, once it clicked in my head and it hit my heart, and I said, I got this. I know every damn answer that I ever need to know now. It has nothing to do with these damn books. There's not a damn answer in any of these damn books. What a waste of time. I said, but that's okay. I'm okay. I just said, I was just like exhausted. I read so much, and I was like, you know what? It just hit me one day. I said, I got this. I know exactly how I got to do this. Just be,
that's I don't interrupt. But that's my issue. My issue is the information that's coming in is overwhelming.
That's what I'm saying, because you just got to feel it in your heart that you know what's true, and you got to be able to convey that to your fellow man.
Well, that I can definitely convey. It's just you doing it in the 2D and not understanding the actual structure, and I can stand up and I can express myself properly, and that's not really my issue. My issue is
the problem is that you're not expressing it. There is nothing on the other side you're talking to. You're not talking to a man. You're talking to a judge or a prosecutor. You're talking to a rock. You're talking to a tree. You're not calling them out man to man. You're not saying who's the man who's speaking. You don't ask them a simple question. I think I hear a sound. I think I hear a bear fart in the woods. I think I heard a tree fall. Was that a tree? Was that a bear? Was that a man? And there'll be stone silence. They will not answer you. Little Brian Bonner that Gus got to meet, little 5'4", redhead, freckled, 56-year-old man with no teeth, rides a moped. He knew how to chase all the damn lawyers around. And just say, is that a man I hear? Is that a man? I think I hear a bear fart in the woods. Was that a tree that fell down? No. Was that a man that's speaking? No, I didn't think so. So I guess my testimony is the only one that's before the court today. Oh, okay. I think only my voice is being heard. Okay. Nobody's got anything to say. Okay. I have no idea how you people are so afraid of just pulling it from the heart and just understanding how simple this is. There is no man talking to you, dude. There is nothing there. And any time you react to a tree falling, like, oh my God, a tree fell, and you're going to jump up in the air, your heart, or they hand you a piece of paper, and it says your name on it, and your heart races, your blood, races, you start to palpitate, you're sweating. Dude, if they handed it to you in Chinese, you'd say, what the hell is this crap? So when they hand it to you in English, why do you say, what the hell is this crap? What the hell does this have to do with anything? Who's addressing me? Where's the man who wrote this damn thing? That man will never appear. You make that man appear.
Yeah. No, okay. That I can understand. So if I can ask one more question, is what paperwork should I put in, or would you put in, or would you suggest put in?
Dude, when I make lawsuits or claims, it's like 8 words or less. Where's the man who says I've done wrong? That's it. Bye.
But now that I already have a claim, I already have a file. Now that I'm actually waiting on...
Dude, you did so much scatterbrain shit that ain't even funny. You said you followed this form, their beliefs, their pattern, not yours. Did you? One of the best cases I ever remember is U.S. versus Georgia. A man wrote it on a roll of toilet paper with a crayon and went to the Supreme Court. He didn't follow his form. He pled it from his heart. The Supreme Court unrolled the roll of toilet paper, and they felt this man's pain and suffering that he was enduring in a Georgia prison. On a roll of toilet paper. He had to smuggle it out on toilet paper. And you're looking for a form and make sure the font's proper.
No, dude,
you told us. Dude, you told us you're following all their forms. Did you say you filled it out on a roll of toilet paper? No. You're trying to follow Magna Carta. Did you just say I'm trying to follow my heart, and I'm just telling the court what I've witnessed, what I feel, what I've seen, what I've witnessed, what I believe is the truth? No. You're feeling what Magna Carta, please. Nobody gives a shit in your interpretation of Magna Carta. Did you write it? No. Were you there when they signed it? No. Is that the fucking valid version? Which version is that? We don't give a shit. Tell us, what do you believe?
Well, I
don't believe anything. You tell the court I don't believe anything. Dude, you just did I don't believe anything. But Magna Carta says, the Constitution says this. William Bennett said this. Gilligan Island said this. Who gives a shit what anybody says? What do you believe?
No. I wrote in the affidavit in opposition and in the reply to their people.
Where on planet Earth have you ever seen the word affidavit other than something written in Chinese, Japanese, legalese? Where have you ever seen the word affidavit other than something in legalese? You speak legalese?
Nowhere. No, I do not.
Then why did you do it? What in all of godly possessed you to do it?
Because as far as I'm aware...
You believe the legal society has control and power over you. That's why. Because you don't believe you're a man. You don't believe that you can just say, hey, you know what? I'm just putting this out there on a roll of toilet paper. This man did me wrong. I've done no wrong. Like the man did with the roll of toilet paper. Why don't you go look at the big black guy who got arrested down in Georgia for writing his grandma's welfare checks or his mom's welfare checks? He was like 500 pounds down in a wheelchair in a 6x9 jail cell. And he had to take out his complaint of what the prison conditions were like on a roll of toilet paper because they wouldn't let him have paper, pen, and ink. And he pulled it off. And you have access to paper, pen, and ink. There's no reason why you can't pull it off.
Well, I mean,
go read it. Dude, why don't you go read that case and imagine what that man went through and realize that he got the highest court on planet Earth to feel for him and to rule in his behalf on a roll of toilet paper. When you got that, you really got something.
Well, this is what I don't understand the proper wording. And I understand what you're saying.
He did a roll of toilet paper, dude. Put your heart on paper and put it out there. The best word you can say is a notice. That's about the most complicated word you can put is a notice. Or you just write to Dear Bob, who's acting as the judge. This is what I'm going through.
I have put in notice from my
official
heart.
Notes, like a roll of toilet paper. You put on a roll of toilet paper, say, this is all I got, Bob, and I believe you're the judge in this case, and this is what I'm going to show you the impact of what's going on by what, Joe over there is doing to me. You just lay it out. Dude, you just lay it out. You lay it out like 2 or 3 sentences. Like, look, I've done no wrong to no man. You're trying to put in a form of an affidavit. You're trying to say, well, I followed the sequences, and I came in a proper persona, and the Magna Carta clearly says, dude, this is the wrong effing show for that. This show is like 8 words or less. If you can't tell me your complaint or your claim in 8 words or less, we don't want to hear it. I've been done wrong. See Exhibit A. And that's it. Okay. Exhibit A could be a mountain. Okay. Exhibit A it could be 10,000 rolls of toilet paper. But all I want to hear is that you've been done wrong. All I want to know is that somebody trespassed upon you. That's all I want to hear. Somebody owes you a debt. That's it.
I can understand all this. Now, how would you proceed if you were in my position?
Did you write to the other side and tell them that what they're doing was wrong and caused you harm?
I did.
Yeah, and what did they say?
No response.
Okay, because you talked to Bob. You said, Dear Bob Jones, greetings. I believe you're a man, and I believe you've been assigned this case, and I believe what... No, you didn't.
No, because I actually
did. Dude, you did what?
I actually have an order of protection. That's why I haven't corresponded with.
So this man who's moving to court, he's got an order of protection against you because you wrote him a nice, lovely letter saying, Bob, I'm a man and you're a man, and I know you don't wish to cause me any harm, and you know what you're doing is going to cause me harm. Do you know that, Bob? Did you ask him a simple question? No, you didn't, because you don't know how to just communicate with your fellow man. You got to go run and get a lawyer. You got to do this legalese shit because you just can't communicate. Nobody can communicate. Well, not anybody. You just people have a real aversion to trying to make contact with your fellow man because you're so politically correct or you want to do everything so proper. You just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with their fellow man. It's all about you. It's whatever you believe. You know what was going on in your world. I mean, like I did to that poor Mike guy up in Canada when he was pleading with me. It's like, hey, you got to help me get back my kid. It's like, oh, that's okay. Go bring your church congregation with you. Oh, I don't go to church. Oh, that's okay. Bring your Rotary Club with you. Oh, I don't join the Rotary Club. Oh, go bring the Peace Corps friends that you got. Oh, I didn't join the Peace Corps. Oh, go ahead and bring your Salvation Army friends. Oh, I don't have a. Oh, go bring the volunteer auxiliary police force with you. Oh, I didn't join. Oh, go bring the volunteer fire department guys with you. Oh, I didn't join. Oh, so you're an Army of One. You come home and you do what? Plug yourself into a computer TV and you go to sleep and get up and do it again? What about the rest of mankind? Why should mankind give a shit about you? What have you done for them? Other than go to work, because you go to work for yourself. You tell me what you volunteered and gave to your fellow man. You tell me how you've reached out and tried to help others.
Well, I clean water, air, and soil, and I teach the world how to clean water, air, and soil. I help farmers how to build, get away from agriculture.
But is this what you do for a living? Is this what you do for compensation?
No, this is what I just do.
I'm saying is if people don't go out and act like in a community and go out and just give, it's very hard for you to understand what I'm doing.
No, I give. I give all I can, and that's not my issue. My issue is understanding trying to get away from a life that, you know, I've been taught that of my fiction and my nonfiction and not having an awareness and not having understanding, and then in the last 6 months.
Well, dude, it's a lifestyle. Like I said, it was so funny when I drove in Las Vegas. It's funny. I had a Corvette. And I saw this black guy walking down the street in North Las Vegas, where I live, by the airport, with a shovel. I pulled over in a Corvette, and I told the guy, come on in. He says, where are we going to fit the shovel? I said, hang on a second. I took the sunroof out. There was like a T-top. I said, go ahead, lift it. He says, why are you helping me? Like, you're a white guy in a Corvette. You know, look like a biker. I said, because you're a man with a shovel. What? So you're a man who works. I value any man who's willing to work. And I gave him a ride. And I said, it's very hot, and I'll give you a ride. And then one of the other days, I remember seeing a big black guy like Ralph Cramden, the bus driver, walking down the street in his bus uniform. I said, come on in, buddy. He said, you know, take, where do you need to go? He says, what, like, white guy, why are you picking me up? I said, because you're a working man. I value you. And if I was walking down the street, I would hope a black man would pull over in his Corvette and give me a ride. The odds of that happening probably slim and none, but somebody's got to start.
I agree. And you know what?
Now, you could tell me stories when you had a black guy sticking a shovel out of his Corvette T-top. Then we got something. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I know what you're trying to say.
Right. You have to have impact on others within your community, and it's not the pasty white guy who looks exactly like you. It's got to be somebody so diverse. You got to help everybody, no matter what. And then you'll start to understand how to stand up in court, and then it all start to click and all make sense. It's a lifestyle. It's not about you or just your kind. You got to reach out to others.
No, I agree, and in my awareness, I have been. You know, I've been trying to get people together and talk about it and discuss it and try to come up with ideas. And I've been actually trying to get in touch with you for quite some time now, for at least 6 months.
Like I said, I know you're trying to get in touch with me, but I'm only one man, and I'm freaking exhausted.
That. And I'm also one man too, who's very brand new to
this. And that's why there's how many 178 of these shows, and some man named Craig Lynch broke it down to thousands of pieces. There's thousands and thousands of videos and YouTube videos of just what I talk about. And you just go through topics like unbelievable, and you could listen to them. You don't have to get in touch with me because I'm always saying the same stuff over and over and over.
I've listened to your shows. I've YouTubed you. I've listened to lots of things, and even your information, as simple as it is, you know, it's not that simple. Well, you know, it's very overwhelming when you walk into the courthouse, especially alone, and you have everyone there.
Before you walked into the courthouse, dude, you had a day, you had a week, you had a month, you had 30 days, you had 90 days to communicate with your fellow man. The minute that you got a citation, the minute that you intercourse, the minute that you made contact with a fellow human being, that was your day to start communicating. Not when you walk into a courtroom. You should never fucking walk into a courtroom. You should have everything settled way before you walk into a courtroom.
Okay, but that's very difficult when the other party does not want to communicate.
Because you're not talking to man, just like Malik Dixon did up there in Chicago. He was trying to talk to the Secretary of State for years. I wrote one letter for him. We sent it out on a Monday. He got a response on Wednesday from the Secretary of State of the state of Illinois. You don't think they got a lot more better things to do than deal with a drunk driver trying to get his license back? They answered his letter in 2 days. They said, we received your letter this morning. I'm answering it this afternoon. Because he talked to him man to effing man. And for the last couple of years before he met me or talked to my show, he was talking to him like he said, Secretary of State, greetings. What do you mean? Hello, Rock. How you doing today, Tree? He didn't talk to him man to man. They don't have to respond unless you're talking to your fellow man. A man has a duty and obligation to talk and respond to his fellow man. If you wrote, dear policeman, dear cop, dear judge, they have no duty and obligation to talk to you. You're subordinate to them. You're a defendant. You got to understand the status. No, you got to understand the status of God, man, judge, defendant. You got to understand the hierarchy, and you're not communicating with your fellow man. You're not doing it, because when I do it, and I have people do it all over the world, people say, oh, wow, Carl, you know how every single one of these people answered in Australia, Canada, United States, every single public servant said, very truly yours. These people aren't gay. They're not hitting on you. They're very truly yours. They're saying, truly, they're your public servants. We are here to serve you. Very truly yours. They know what you're doing. When you're talking to them like a man, when you're talking to them like the king, when you're talking to them like they're in the image of God, they know when they're standing in your presence. And they know when they're standing in the presence of a fool.